Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Athava yoginameva kule bhavati dhimatam etadidurlabhataram loke janmaya didrisham. Or it takes birth in the family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Verily, such a birth is rare in this world. So what is happening here? We come to the situation, Arjuna asks this question, Krishna, system of yoga you're telling me it is very difficult. Then now what happens after that? Arjuna replies, Krishna replies, no Arjuna, it is possible, but if you by constant practice and detachment, you can control your mind and advance spiritually. Then Arjuna asks this question, that Krishna, what if somebody takes to the path of spiritual practices and falls down? He is not able to continue because of his weakness and he abandons the spiritual process. Isn't he losing both ways? Just like we tell spiritual practice, we say don't watch movies, don't go to parties. Okay? So he's stopping material enjoyment. And spiritually also he fell down. So he lost both, material also, spiritual also. Can be a reasonable question. So he asks Krishna. Krishna says no. The spiritualist will not lose at all. Whatever he does is an eternal asset. To explain that, Krishna is explaining how it is done. Number one is that somebody, we discussed yesterday, somebody who does not advance completely or to some degree has spiritual practices, he goes to the Devaloka. Okay? He becomes a Devata, enjoys for some time. Then he comes back to the earth, Shuchinam Shrimatam Gehe. In a house of a rich man or a pious man, he practices, continues. He gets another opportunity. But if there is somebody who very sincerely practiced, okay, but could not complete, for him, Krishna is saying here, what will happen to him? He will be born in the house of a great transcendentalist. Okay. Prabhupada used to many times notice this for the children of the devotees. They had once Prabhupada was coming down to take class, and then he saw a small child playing kartal rhythmically. Small too, but exactly like everybody is playing and moving like that. So Prabhupada looked at the child and then came and sat down. And then generally Prabhupada said he's speaking Jai Radha Madhavan class. Prabhupada started directly speaking that day. I said, these children, they are so special. And how he can so rhythmically at a small age play and dance like everybody is dancing. Correct? You can see some videos also. Prabhupada said, it's already they are devotees. By nature, they are devotees. Such a small age, you can say 2 years, they are exhibiting such enthusiasm for devotional service. Prabhupada said it is from previous life. Please take care of the children very nicely. Prabhupada used to many times say. Because, see, nothing can happen by an accident. Somebody is born, correct, in a family of devotees. That means, actually, what does it mean? That the parents, Krishna has given him an opportunity. Correct? Krishna is saying here, these people who very much seriously practice spiritual life, next life I give them birth in the family of devotees, means what? Krishna has taken care. Okay? Krishna, why will Krishna not give an opportunity? He gives opportunity one way. He gives you Devaloka and you come back and you are born in the family of rich people and pious people. That is one level of mercy. But still special mercy for the people who are very serious. They are directly born in the family of great devotees. From day one, he is seeing worship of the Lord. Agree? Prabhupada also now taking his own example. And he takes example of his father. Prabhupada's father, we all know. Prabhupada's guru, Bhaktisiddhanta Prabhupada, was born in the family of Bhaktivinoda Thakur. Bhaktivinoda Thakur prayed to the Lord, I am not able to fulfill your mission. Please send me somebody from your personal staff. And when Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada was born, he felt Krishna has answered his prayers. And then, from day one, Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada had an opportunity of seeing a father who was a great Vaishnava. Correct? He had an opportunity. And then he grew up in that family. And he had, he could carry on. And when father was leaving the world, he told his son, my dear son, see to it that Mayapur is well established. My son, see to it the message of Krishna consciousness spreads all around the world. Any father will tell. What will normal father tell? Beta, see to it Mercedes car should be outside the house. Beta, see to it we should have our own house, one big house. Beta, see to it in the city center we should have one flat. Beta, see to it this is the thing, only thing. The death wish is this only. And what are the death wish of Bhaktivinoda Thakur? My dear son, even Bhaktivinoda Thakur's wife, when she was dying, she also reminded Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada, do not forget, your father wanted message of Bhagavad Gita to be taught to all over the world. Your father wanted Krishna consciousness spread all around the world. My dear son, do not forget that. She also reminded while leaving the world. Now this fortune of getting father and mother like this, Baba, he is also for personal staff of Krishna. Taken, isn't it? So auspicious. And then, otherwise how? Otherwise, generally parents are materialistic. They will only block spiritual advancement. Correct? They will not allow us to sacrifice for Krishna. Similarly, Prabhupada had the same situation. What was the situation? When he was a small child, his father used to see every day worshipping Radha Krishna. He said, father, main thing was ghanta only. Business was little he used to do. He had a cloth shop. So whole day I will see his puja only was going on. Morning, evening, puja only. So he used to see so much his father worshipping, and his father used to take him to some, the deity, community deity, Radha Govinda. So he used to go and see the deity every day. And true, he was also a great devotee, small child. He used to look at the deities for hours. That is extraordinary. A small child attached to the deity is not usual, it's unusual. Is it unusual? We cannot make them sit for 1 minute. But Prabhupada says actually children should be trained to see the deity worship. They should be trained when Aarti is happening. That training in India many times it has. Children, they stand and they look at the deities, correct? The training should, at least that much they should do. They can't understand classes and all, but Aarti is happening, Prabhupada says they should stand and see the Aarti. That much training should be there. They look at the deities and see the Aartis, how the Aarti is going on. And some attachment they should develop, respect for the deities. So then that was Bhaktivinoda Prabhupada. So then Prabhupada said to his father, give me also those deities. And father gave. Who will give? Father gave. Yeah, worship. And he used to worship the Radha Krishna deities every day at his home. And so he also used to imitate the worship of his father. So that brought him so much fortune. Correct? Nowadays, if somebody came to tell, my child whole day watches TV. So I said, what do you do? Now I do the same thing. I said, then what he was going to learn? Correct? He was asking why my son is whole day watching TV. I said, what do you do? Yeah, whenever I am free, I watch TV only. So what your son will learn? But here when father is all the time doing ghanta and doing worship, what the child will run? He will also try to imitate that. And just by imitating, because small children, their nature is to imitate. Whatever you do, they'll imitate. Correct? So if you can imitate Krishna worship, what fortune is there? He said we used to do everything. We used to do our own bhoga offering, our own arti, dhupa. They're very happy. Small children, they do that, they will enjoy like a plaything. And then later, Prabhupada says, when he was very small, he told his father, I also want a Jagannath Ratha. I want to do Rath Yatra. So father got him a Ratha and he organizes for him a small Rath Yatra. And all local people encourage, where children had their own Rath Yatra. In fact, many ISKCON temples, which are large community today, have two Rath Yatras. One is the big one is for children's Rath Yatra. There are many big temples have. Even in Russia, in America, they have children's Rath Yatra. Elders are just around, they organize everything. And the small Ratha they give, and they are busy chanting, dancing. Very nice. So children learn, no, they feel so excited. Because they are seeing parents doing big Rath Yatra, they are on the hand only. And now their own Rath Yatra, they are very excited. Very nice. And then, Prabhupada was doing that. His own Rath Yatra and whole community was participating. Then after that, something else happened. That Prabhupada's father used to every day bring one saint to the house. Any saint he comes to know any saintly person, Prabhupada will call them to the house. And he will ask them, please bless my son. Please give him mercy. I want him to become a great servant of Radharani. So you want such a son? Not easy. Father is not easy to get such a father. Every day you'll ask, whoever comes, please bless my son. Make him a great servant of Radharani. And then he taught Prabhupada's some arrangement, because in India at that time, Prabhupada was from an aristocratic rich family, Mulik family, Suvarna Muliks. So there was an arrangement that they will send Prabhupada to England to learn law, because that was in profession at that time. All your India so-called politicians also did that only, correct? They all went to England to learn law and then became big man. Some of them had no practice even after coming back. So anyway, Prabhupada, that arrangement they're making, the Prabhupada said, no way, my son is not going to become a Mlecha in Yavana, no way. If he goes there, he may learn some bad habits. You see that? He was protecting him. He said, my father never scolded him. He was always so encouraging. In fact, he jokes that his mother was a little strict. Father, anything he used to say, father used to provide him. He said from childhood it was like that. And then next what happened was, he used to train him Mridanga. For that only. He said, you learn Mridanga. And he got an instructor to teach Prabhupada Mridanga, so that future he can do this. So Prabhupada thanks his father. He says, all the ideas of Krishna consciousness my father gave to me when I was a small child. Later they were solidified by my eternal spiritual master. Prabhupada says that. Correct? So how do we understand? So this fortune of getting parents like that, who are so happy when you do devotional activity. Nowadays it is there, but it is natak. A small child, they will say very nice, bow to the Lord, pray to the Lord. Literally grows up, forget all these things now. Correct? They are not happy. At a little grown up age, say 10th class, 12th class, the child is seriously chanting, parents get alarmed. No, don't do that. And a disaster for them, a death, almost like a death, if the child becomes very serious. Correct? Tumba actually there should be a celebration. Because Bhagavatam says some child becomes a devotee of the Lord, a serious in Krishna consciousness, then it blesses the parents, not one generation, many generations. But situations are different today. It's all because you have lost faith in our own culture. And we have so much anxiety for unnecessary. Anxiety is fine, but unnecessarily anxiety for maintenance. What will happen? Don't have faith that Krishna will take care of any situation. So parents somehow are fearful, generally fearful. If the son becomes serious in Krishna consciousness, very fearful, correct? Their only Prabhupada is to laugh. Only objective is my child should settle down. This is the Mahavakya all over India. Correct? Many times I remember some students come, their parents meet me. Swamiji, why don't you settle down? I said, what do you mean settle down? Get married. You're asking me, you have no other question. They look at anybody, settle down. Settle down means you see their house, every day they fight. And as if it is some husband-wife is some, Vaikuntha life where Narayana is sitting and wife is doing chamara. Correct? Pratidina klesha, dvesha, tamasha. But that is the perfection of life. This is the situation today. We are not saying brahmacharya is the only way to live, but if somebody can, why force him? Why we want to settle down him? It's a life of so much anxiety. So much life is simple as brahmacharya to practice. Correct? We are not saying grihastha life is bad. In grihastha life also somebody can be great devotee, and so many have been great devotees. But always we should first give an opportunity. If somebody can remain brahmacharya, it is so much so better. Correct? We try. We leave it to Krishna. We try. Sincerely we try. So anyway, but this society doesn't accept. And it's not new. This was not accepted even at the time of Daksha. When Narad Muni met the children of Daksha, how many were there first time? What is the name of that? 10,000. First time was 10,000. Hasavara. What is the name? Hari Ashwas. And then he instructed them. He gave only one shloka. Actually, Daksha wanted to, just like a universal creation. After the creation, there is population. Vedic explanation is not evolution. Vedic explanation is devolution. From top to bottom. Correct? The first person is not an amoeba. First person is, they go bottom, we go top. Brahma. The most, they were joking. If you take in the DNA wave, it's not in a DNA wave, it's a much advanced way of creation. Correct? Then Brahma's gene should have all the species within it. They calculate like that. You understood? Because they think he's the source of all the species. But anyway, don't worry about this kind of thing, because Brahma is very, very powerful, very extremely powerful. And then from Brahma takes birth. One of the people who take birth is Dakshas, and Daksha's business is to populate the universe. So Daksha gave birth to 10,000 children. Now you can't give birth to 10,000 children. You can't even understand. These are Prajapatis. They are empowered to populate the universe. All the jivas have to take birth in different parts of the universe, correct? And do their activities. So the Dakshas populate the universe. So then the Daksha means they're expert in that. Daksha means expert. Expert in population. So then what happens, that they have gone and they're very pious. They're all sitting on the banks of some river, and they're practicing austerities to come back to populate the universe with good souls. Because if you don't do austerity, then only Danavas will take birth. So they are doing their austerities and practicing tapasya. Before entering the Grihastha ashram, they are following Brahmachari ashram. Correct? Brahmachari ashram means tapasa. Tapasa brahmacharyena. Brahmacharya means tapasya. Brahmacharya means tapasya. If you want comfort, become Grihastha, not Brahmachari. Brahmachari means tapasya should be the part of life. Ornament of a Brahmachari, tapasya. So then what happens, that he sees Narada, what are they doing? So he tells them, there is a place, having gone there, nobody returns. One shloka which has so many meanings. And in that place, there is one wheel that is roaming around, representing Kala Chakra, the death is certain. Like that he explains. They hear that one shloka, it's a long shloka, but one shloka of Narad Muni. All the 10,000 brothers start, and Narad Muni goes away, that's all. As they start discussing, they understand we are wasting our life. This world is temporary, and better go to Vaikuntha, from where nobody comes back. And they all left, took sannyas and went away. Daksha came to know, he became very angry. Very, very angry. So then he produced another 1,000 children. And he sent them for tapasya again. Go to tapasya, come back for Grihastha ashram. First Brahmachari, then Grihastha. So Narad Muni again landed up. He said it is always good for younger brothers to follow the elder brothers. So these people also understood, and they also left, became sannyasis. Imagine 2 batches, 11,000 children, Narada Muni, so powerful. How powerful he is. He has made them devotees. Now next what happens is that Narada Muni is, faultless. His heart is pure. He comes to Daksha himself. He said, I have delivered his sons. Why don't I deliver him? He doesn't come with any evil intention or make fun of him. He thinks, so great service I have done. I made his sons into great devotees. Now I'll come. And Daksha was shaking with anger. You cheat, this, that. So, and then he curses Narada. You're only making a show. And we are following real religion. Just like some people feel. So, I curse you. You cannot remain in a place more than 3 days. Okay? And you will not have any material enjoyment. Very good. I don't want material enjoyment. Something like that. That curse was some Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got no one. So anyway. So Narad Muni was very, that's why Prabhupada said Narad Muni is constantly traveling, because it is good for him, such a curse. They can everywhere keep traveling and delivering devotee. Therefore you see, in all the Puranas, Narada Muni coming in and out. And sometimes people don't understand, because Narad Muni, by blessing of the Lord, knows everything. They say don't do Narad Muni work. Everywhere it is common. Even politicians say, don't act like Narad Muni. Somebody is trying to create a drift in a party. Hey, why you are opposite party? Don't become Narad Muni. Telling so many things. But no. Narad Muni is, if you want to understand Vaishnava Kriya Mudra, it is not easy. To understand Vaishnava Kriya Mudra, you should first become a devotee. Then you can understand. Devotees worship the activities of Narada. Narada is only assisting in the pastimes of the Lord. Only thing he knows everything, what's going everywhere. Therefore suddenly Narada will land up, tell Krishna's grandson has been stolen by this demon, he is lying there. Everything he knows. Everything he knows. So he informs in that way. So it's not that he's a politician, he's an exalted devotee of the Lord. So therefore, Prabhupada used to also laugh. He used to say that, because Prabhupada in America, some 4,000-5,000 youngsters came in and joined the movement full time. It was like, if you read the biography of these devotees, I moved in. It was such a common thing, moved in that time, because the force was so much. I was reading the memories of Prabhupada. They say even before entering the temple, they used to feel scared. Because they know if I go in, I have to forget my girlfriend, I have to forget my career, I have to forget everything. It was so intense, Krishna consciousness. The experience was shaking. And he used to eat prasadam, they used to not leave the place only. It used to be so nice. Oh wow, because finally everybody looking for happiness. If he gets happiness in Krishna consciousness, why he'll go other place? Correct? And asat sanga tyaga, vaishnavachara. More we advance in Krishna consciousness, more we cannot tolerate for a moment association of the karmis. More and more people feel suffocated. I personally, I'm not a good example, but I remember 6 months down the line, I went to the company, I just could not see their face. I can't go again. You can't. The more you advance in Krishna consciousness, more you find suffocated in the association of devotees. More you keep advancing, more you cannot tolerate. You become more and more intense. True, you have to learn the art. Okay? So this is another part of life. So this is what happened in the families. So this is today's situation is definitely unusual. It's a different, unusual situation today. Just like Srila Prabhupada was in India, he also saw the situation. He used to go to so many people. We have 4-5 children. Why don't you give me one son? I'll make him a Brahmana, and he spread the message of Gita all around the world. Everybody looked at Prabhupada's face and told him, Swamiji, what is the use of all this? Prabhupada said, it is so degraded condition the country has come to, that voluntarily nobody is interested. This is the situation. Prabhupada also saw at his time, and the same situation remains today. Not much change. People have actually, the faith is very, very superficial. Very, very superficial. Just like you rub, you come to know the reality. Correct? People will go to temple, they will worship God, they will say, yes, Gita is the message of God, everything great. But somebody dedicates his life to worship Krishna and spread the message, they will do tamasha. That means their faith is very, very superficial. It's just a show. Correct? If it is real, the person should be ecstatic. A person will feel so fortunate. And that is rare today. That's very, very rare. People don't understand the value, what is the greatness of dedicating life to spread the message of Krishna. People can't understand. Because overall people are extremely materialistic, and outside they wear adambara of spiritual life. But heart of the core of the heart, people are materialistic. Only success of life is material achievement. Correct? And because they have no faith in God, constantly worried about how will I be rescued? What will happen to me? So they, as much they like to protect themselves. But nobody understand our real protection is Krishna. We have no other protection. Our only protection is Krishna. That Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Raksha Ma. Pai Mam, Raksha Mam. That is Krishna's greatness. Okay, so in this way we can understand the shloka. Srila Prabhupada ki, Bhagavad Gita ki.